Literally, when people hear the word branding, they just picture this lady who is trying to fake it till you make it and is literally taking it to the extreme levels. People, that is purely some form of branding, but it is not what branding is all about. But in any case, that shouldn't be why you are scared or uncomfortable about taking your personal branding seriously, because there are lots of things at stake. And if you do not, own your brand the way it should be owned, you are really shooting yourself in the foot. And that's on period.
Dear ambitious African, this is your host, Secho. In this podcast, we will discuss everything about our journeys and experiences towards achieving our goals for life and work as phenomenal change leaders in our varied communities. We will feature other ambitious Africans crushing it through arts, social activism, tech innovations, entrepreneurship, and positive lifestyle and holistic well-being. We are the generation that is redefining Africa as we know it, and as an ambitious African, now is the time to get involved. Give us your feedback and ideas for our next podcast, and let's keep the conversations going. See you inside.
Welcome to another episode of the Ambitious Africans podcast. This is your ambitious host, Secho, and today I'm bringing you another unscripted session. I just want to go right into it because this is giving me headaches, guys. It's giving me headaches. Okay, so one of the things I have realized is that when people hear the word personal branding, they feel like they have to project themselves as this put together person on screen or on social media, but in their real life that's not how they live. And so they feel they're sort of deceiving people, or they feel some form of imposter syndrome, some form of discomfort, imposter syndrome, overwhelm, a mix of all that. And so people just do not want the word personal branding. They don't want to have anything to do with it. They don't want to even take. They don't. And some of them do. Some do not even want to engage a conversation about personal branding because it's just not what they are comfortable with. But guess what? Whether you like it or not, you are already personally branding yourself. You are literally already branding yourself. You're already personal branding yourself, whether you like it or not. The way you show up in places, the way you show up in meetings, the way you show up at work, the way you show up at church or your place of worship, the way you show up with your friends, the way you show up at events, the way you show up on social media, the things you're posting, everything, all that is already your personal brand. Period. It's just a big word describing what you already are and literally highlighting what makes you you. That is just it. So we are saying that personal branding is literally what you already are, or who you already are. So if we took you, the same you person that you are, and we put you in a bunch, a crowd, okay? So let's say you're a lady, and you're 5 foot, let's say 5.5 foot tall, you have kinky hair, or you have braids, whatever those demographics would be. If we took the exact same demographics, okay, that let's say you're 24 years old, you just completed university, you've been working for a year or two, or you just started your small business, or you're just about deciding what business to start or what to take your career, and you sort of look like a certain way, and so people are just going to use those descriptions, right, to put you in a room filled with other people with the exact same descriptions. Now, when they ask you to mingle, chit chat with these same people for like 10 minutes and then come back to the room and then try as much as possible to find you in the room, it should be easy to find you in that room, despite the fact that you might have shared some information about who you are, what you are, what you do with some people, and some people could easily like find pieces of themselves in you. Regardless of all of that, and the confusion, it could be that you could even have some people who look exactly like you in the room. The fact that when someone else enters that room and wants to speak with you particularly, and they share every single description that everybody might have, and yet still know that no, it is not these people they are looking for, but it's actually you, that 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 right there is personal branding. And so all that makes you you is what is just, I think personal branding, I'm really trying so hard to convince you on why personal branding is so important, especially in 2022, or whenever in this lifetime you're hearing this. It's so important. And I'm going to give you some reasons why it's important. I'm going to try to convince you, but literally you can do that by a Google search and say, why is personal branding important? But what I'm going to tell you is that if you do not become more intentional about how you show up in places, online with people, if you're not more intentional, or even attempt to be intentional about those things, it's really going to hurt you in the long run. And I know when people also hear personal branding, they're thinking about the aesthetics, like how you're looking, your hair, your clothes, your accessories, how you're smelling, how you're, those nice things. Like, oh, that's what we say branding in Ghana. That's how we say, yeah, you really branded yourself. Like, you're looking good. Yeah, you're just on top of things. And so people think that branding is literally just you putting together the aesthetics so that you look good and you smell good, you smell like you speak good, like that's it. But when we get to know you, there's totally a disconnect between what you're portraying and what you really are. That is also another form of branding. I would honestly would not blame anybody to choosing that. But the thing is, you're already a package. You're already who you are. You like to dress in a certain way. On days you have mood swings, or you're just not feeling it, you like to dress in a particular way. On days you're really feeling yourself, you like to dress in a particular way. On days that you really don't want to go out, you dress at home in a particular way. So all these things are you already. Now, what it means to be more intentional about your personal branding is knowing, for example, that these are the things about yourself that you love. These are the things about you that you do not so like. These are some of the things that you really want people to know. These are the things that you know that other people do not know. You know all these things, and then you pick and choose which ones you want to reflect on certain days, or you want to reflect at certain events or particular events. And that is not because you now have to be this kind of person to show up in this kind of way, but it's just who you are. And so, because you're presented with this new opportunity to show up at a particular place, you try to find which aspects of yourself you want to show so that you make the best impression. I hope this has helped clarify something for you about personal branding. I'm just going to go into some of the reasons or some of the practical ways personal branding, or you should take personal branding seriously. Like, if you're not taking personal branding seriously, then please do not listen to this episode. You can listen to other episodes I've recorded. They'll definitely be good for you. But if you don't agree with everything I've said, totally go listen to another episode, or come fight me in my DMs at Super Secho, on Instagram or anywhere else you find me. Okay, so I'm going to give you some of the reasons why personal branding is very important. Practical reasons, or even examples. Okay, the first example I have, or rather, I shouldn't call it example, I should call it a story. The first story I have about why personal branding is so important was when, for example, what am I saying example? Was when I was at home, just chilling on the on a cool Monday evening, trying to rest from the day, and my friend texts me and it's like, "Ooh, I have this letter I would want you to review," right? And he shares this letter, and it's like an application letter. You know how they ask for a cover letter? Literally, that was it, right? And this person, I know him personally, right? And so I'm reading the letter. I'm like, oh, this is not the you I know. Like, you're not talking about your strengths in a way that is very compelling for these people to give you the job. And I just saw so many things he had missed out on talking about himself in that letter. And of course I of course I shared my thoughts, my ideas on some of the things he could mention. But it also reminded me how literally, if for example he didn't share this letter with someone and he just sent it by him just like that, and then somebody took that letter and then googled him and found that, oh, this person's letter doesn't seem so impressive but has done so much online, or has done so many great things that traces of him show that he's epic for the job, then like it would become such an underselling opportunity. And what that would translate into is that at the negotiation table where you're negotiating benefits and salaries, you're going to be underpaid. It is not because people want to genuinely underpay you, it's just because there's always something that people can't explain about why they value you the way they value you. And I say value as in they are weighing you, like literally placing you on a scale and weighing you if they should be paying you this amount, because you are not showing like this is the amount that we should be paying you. That doesn't make sense, because you're not you're giving them cause to doubt the kind of things you are saying in your letter, and even doubt the kind of things you are posting, because they're like, oh, then you're all just fluff, you're all just the aesthetics, there's no depth in there. So when they weigh you quite a bit, they're like, let's just pay this guy this thing because he seems like he knows how to do the work, but let's just pay him this amount. Now let's just flip that example, where let's say somebody finds you online, they've googled where to find a brand strategist, and then you pop up and they go to your IG page, you're like, oh, you're dishing out some serious gems, right? So they send you a DM and they're like, oh, we are trying to hire brand strategists for our campaign or for this particular role. Could you send us your CV? And then you share your CV, and the CV is showing exactly what you said you are, because it's flowing like whatever they saw you as from the online search. In your CV, it's like you are not under delivering. You're showing that, oh, you saw that I was this, professional, decisive, optimistic, all the great adjectives. You saw that on my, LinkedIn, IG, wherever you saw that. On my CV, you're seeing that, oh, through how I'm even communicating these things I said I do, it's showing, right? Now you decide to go through some of the works I've done. You go through portfolio, you're like, oh, even the way your portfolio is put together, like everything is just synced. Everything is just synced. If they decide to even call your former boss, and your former boss is using the same adjectives, they feel that's what you are, like the kind of person you are. Literally, you have just completed for them their decision on how to value you. And so when it gets to the negotiation table, the conversations is always going to be on a leveled playground, because you have projected yourself in a way that you want to be valued, or you want to be seen, or you want to be perceived. They have seen that, they see your value, then they're putting you on this pedestal you already have put yourself in, and then they meet you there and negotiate from there. And that is a point of strength you do not want to undermine your personal branding for. If you do not take into some serious intentionality the way you show up in places, it's really going to hurt you when you need the most, because perception is everything. Perception is everything. Like, how many of us don't know, those classmates who always dress up nice, but we do really know that we are really smarter than they are. But we see them speaking at conferences, we see them speaking on podcasts, we see them sharing some serious nuggets and things on panels that that's how this thing I'm even talking about, I could even do it better. How many of us don't know friends like that? I'll wait. We all do. But because they've put themselves together, especially online, and my bias is going to be online because that is where these days everybody goes out to look for people. Like if people want to do a background search, they're most definitely going to the private investigation section like, in Google, literally. And so you're making due diligence very, very easy for these people. And yet you're not using that opportunity to show your best self. Like, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this again? So maybe today was a rant. It literally was a rant, but I really hope you get my point. If for nothing else, I want you to remember these two things, right? Perception is always the reality. Sometimes the reality isn't the reality. Perception is always the reality. If you think about all the things you are, all the adjectives you describe yourself, and you don't see those adjectives manifested or displayed or demonstrated instead, or rather, on these online spaces or anywhere else, then you should ask yourself some few questions. Am I being perceived the way I want to be perceived? Because you want to hit at least 80 to 90% of the real you being the perception people have. But if there's a big disconnect, then you really have a lot to do. And the second thing is that you're already consistent with being yourself. Now is the time to own that and use that consistency in being yourself, being passionate about the things you're passionate about, being passionate about topics, courses, different things you're passionate about. It is now time to consistently use all of that to project the kind of person you want to be seen as. And the best way to do that is just by being yourself. When people say be yourself, it can be so cliche, it can be I don't know, sometimes it can be so cliche, like, what is be yourself? We are tired of being ourselves, want to be bougie versions of ourselves. But that's literally like a side note. Okay, all the things you already are is enough for consistency. And so you will not feel that kind of discomfort you feel when you hear the word personal branding, because it is already true to you. I think I've made my case. Let me know if you found today's episode helpful. And yeah, just hit me up at Super Secho, Superwoman, Secho as SETSO on Instagram. And let me know what you think about today's topic, because it really means a lot to me. And whilst you're there, you can check out my IG, my LinkedIn, and other places. And let me know what you think about my spaces. Am I projecting myself the way I really project myself, even on the episodes? I'd like to know. Thank you, and see you in the next one.